Hi, this is Cindy from the Paper Studio. Today we're going to talk about kind of changing the surface colors of some handmade paper. We have tons of beautiful papers in the shop. It seems like it's never enough, so we're always into kind of playing with and seeing how we can push the limits and changing the colors of papers to meet whatever project we're working on. Today I'm going to show you a product called a Glimmer Mist, and it's a dye that you can spray on to different things. It's kind of a new product, so we were really having a lot of fun playing with it. We make a lot of books, and this is an example of a long stitch book that we made. Starts out with this fine art paper. This is a Locta, really thick and natural, which is beautiful in its natural state, but we wanted to change it and make it something different. So I sprayed the outside cover to create this long stitch book, and it's really soft and rugged. It lends itself well to a long stitch. Added a button that has Japanese paper underneath it and little hand-dyed silk ribbon. I didn't spray the inside of it. I liked kind of just the modeling that was going on with the dye coming through. But they're just really fun, and I like the fact that you can just kind of control the color of your paper. So I'm going to show you a couple other ones. This one I haven't sewn them together, but I just thought it was interesting. It was kind of playing with kind of a patina color and a jazz blue color, and then adding a little bit of coffee shop to it to get this kind of patinaed colored. And it's interesting how it kind of talks to this silk ribbon almost in the same colors. This one I did spray the inside. I just wanted it to be just in the coffee color. And then I want to show you one more before I show you. I wanted to make kind of a lemon lime color because I really like this color. It's nice and happy. And I did spray this one more the lemony tones inside. And I did that one with, the thing about these is you have to layer colors. So that one's created with like sunflower, mustard green, mustard seed, and a little bit of mistletoe need a little bit of the darker green to help anchor the color. So I want to just show you how quick and easy it is to do something like this because it's just really fun. The other thing I found is that if you put a nice paper below what you're spraying, you can actually save this for something else because the overspray is really pretty lovely. So I'm going to just take a couple and just spray. One thing about these things we found is you don't want to shake it wildly because it will go all over the person standing next to you. You can ask my assistant Anne, because the first day I got to shook it and it wound up all over her. So just kind of swizzle it around, swirl it, and you'll be fine. And then just kind of spritz it. You don't have to be wild. They come out nice and lovely. Now you'll notice they come out a little bit spotty, which is fine for this project. If you want them to go on really smooth, I recommend you put it on a sponge brush and then just kind of paint it on. Like if you had a smooth piece of paper and you didn't want the spots. Now I'm fine with the spots because this kind of lends itself to this particular paper and the way it looks. Now I just did a light coating that was a vintage pink, and then I'm going to just do a little bit. Sometimes I'll spray it to the side just to get a little less on there. And so like I said, the overspray ends up being really lovely, so I don't want to add a whole lot. So maybe a little more vintage pink. And sometimes if you want to spray up, then you don't get as much on there. So making this kind of just soft and pink. And a little bit more. So you can do something really fast and quick, and then if you sewed it with a brown wax linen, it would be really kind of lovely, kind of vintage. I'm going to show you one other one. We're going to just do a little series of layering so you can see. Let me start with some yellow. You want to start with your lighter colors first. One mistake people make is they start with dark, and it's hard to go backwards once you already have dark. So I just did some quick spritz of yellow, and then I'm going to add a little bit of this tiger lily on here. I'm just going to go kind of this orange, and see what it looks like. A little bit of that, just to have some fun with it. Maybe a little red. So you can totally play with them, and then you can keep adding color, you know, if it's getting to a stage that you like, you know, always stop before it gets too late. That's the key, is knowing when to stop. I think it needs a little more yellow. Again, you can always go back in and add, but remember to always start with a lighter color, because it's too hard. If you start with a really dark color, then you're trying to add to make it lighter, it usually doesn't work. So, you know, I'm liking this kind of really red poppy orangey thing. And then let's say that you want to do the inside. Maybe I want to absorb some of the, you know, marks I've got made out there. So, I mean, there's just a lot of fun things you can do, because then that's going to add some dark splotches on here. And like I said, the overspray becomes really kind of cool on here. So we found that if we kept this, it kind of makes this nice little palette. So I might spray this way to start filling some other things in, but I like that. And so maybe I just want to do kind of this, more of the red inside and not have so much yellow. So anyways, but they're really fun. You can cut them up for collages. You can use them for cards. And okay, we're going to go way red with this one. But there's just a bazillion things you can do with them. They're really fun. I did a project where I had text, and I went over it with kind of the patina color, and then kind of masked out some shapes, and then the text was peeking through different shapes. So it's just really wonderful. So I'm kind of staying in the same color family, but these two sides are going to look a little bit different, but they go with each other. And again, like I said, you can pick it up. You know, I just leave mine outside to dry, you know, depending on what time of year it is, where you are in the country. If it's cold out, it'll freeze, so don't do that. But just let it dry, and you don't have to spray the inside. You can leave it, but they just make wonderful, you know, little books and journal covers that are totally unique. So it's a fun way to kind of have every color in the world available to you. Again, these are little glimmers. They have a little bit of shimmer to it, but you could also do it with, you know, if you have some watercolor, or, you know, and want to spray it on, mix it up and spray it on, or you could do it with some dye. But there's just so many fun things you can do to change the color of kind of plain paper.